In the beginning. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you want more content like this. And leave a comment.
Hey man, say man, welcome back to another Act Like You Know video. I'm here, I might have jumped the gun, boys. I might have jumped the gun. Y'all boys was on me though, as y'all can see in these comments right here. Y'all boys was on me after the 117-90 defeat that the Nuggets had against the Timberwolves. And the Nuggets are awake again. The Nuggets are definitely awake again. And I just want to speak to that. I'm not gonna re-jump ship because originally when I made the prediction, I had the Nuggets winning this in 6. I'm not gonna jump back on the ship. Pause on the ship of the Nuggets after these 2 games. The Timberwolves. I feel like they blew a really big chance in Game 3. Obviously, the defending champs, and they said it in the press conference. They knew they were gonna punch back, and to go out in your first game back in the Western Conference semifinals. First game back, you're up 2-0. You have a huge moment to go up 3-0 against the defending champs. When you're playing the defending champs, you really gotta take them out. You gotta put them out. You can't give them an inch of space, and they came out flat. Anthony Edwards today, he came out flat, and he's supposed to be the leader of the team, and that was one of the more disappointing things. The whole team came out flat. No one scored over 20 for the Timberwolves, and yeah, that was just a bad showing. Obviously the Nuggets came to play. They had 3 players score over 20. I believe it was Michael Porter Jr. Jamal Murray, and Jokic. They all showed up. Jokic almost had a triple double. I believe he had 24, 10, and 9. And the Nuggets shot over 50% against the number 1 defense in the NBA, which can't happen. I feel like Game 3 is the moment that the Timberwolves, if we look back on the series, Game 3 is going to be the game where the Timberwolves blew a chance to win this series, I should say. But I still think the Timberwolves are going to win the series. I'm just talk about it later in the video. What was I going to say, man? I owe the Nuggets an apology because I really thought they would probably lose this series. I knew they wouldn't get swept. I feel like that's what some of the comments were kind of saying. They're like, this age like milk. I was like, well, it's still 2-1. You know what I'm saying? After Game 3. I said they weren't going to win the series. I never said they were going to get swept. But to your point, man, I did sound like a casual. Predetermining that the series was over. Like, no team has come down from 2-0. Now, the statistics of this doesn't look good. Usually when you go down 0-2, and there's a 77% chance that you will win the series, especially going down 0-2 and you lost both games at home, and now you're going into hostile territory. I just didn't see that the Timberwolves are going to lose both games at home. Like, they're talking about a team that's 30-11 at home throughout the regular season, and so they're pretty much a decent home team. And they've, as you saw in the first round, they played well at home, and not only were their role players playing well away from home in Denver, they were also playing well that you would just think that they would play even better at home where you're comfortable. And that just didn't happen in Game 3. And the Nuggets got a decisive win, 117-90. Then we move on to Game 4. This is the most pivotal game probably to the Timberwolves season. Because if you win this one, you have a 3-1 chokehold, and Nuggets beating you 3 straight times without Anthony Edwards going off probably it's a very slim possibility. Not to say the Nuggets couldn't do it, but like, it's slim. It's very dark. And the Timberwolves here, in Game 4, obviously Anthony Edwards had a huge explosion, but Jokic showed why he's the best player in the world in this game. But I feel like the bigger part of, besides Jokic, is the X factors that we spoke about with Femi before the series. And that's Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon didn't miss a shot until the 4th quarter. I believe he started at 11-12. And I believe he had, hold on, let me double check this, but I believe he had like 25 points. And that is what I thought would happen. I thought Aaron Gordon would have a big series this series, but he wasn't showing up earlier in the series. And so he had 25 points. Obviously, Jokic had 35. He was unguardable. Jamal Murray had a good game. He had a good floor game. He had 19 points, 8 assists. I mean, he shot 8 of 17, which he'll take. It's just below 50%. Besides that, Michael Porter Jr. and Caldwell Pope didn't play that well. But this is absolutely what cannot happen if you're the Timberwolves. One, Karl Anthony Towns has to show up. Karl Anthony Towns, and I gave him credit. For the first 6 games, besides the games he was in foul trouble, he was playing great. He was rising to the playoffs. And I even in last video I gave him an apology for that. But for him to go back, it seems like he's falling back into his old ways. First of all, game 3, no one showed up for the Timberwolves, so I'm not gonna blame it on Karl Anthony Towns. Game 4, Anthony Edwards has 44, and you have. Let me double check this. Just want to make sure he had 13. Multi-time All-Star had 13. Game 4 in a pivotal series against the defending champs, you have 13. You start the game off, I believe, 1 of 10. I know at one point he was 0 of 7 with like a free throw or something. Just not affecting the game in any other way. Jokic is cooking him. Rotations are surprisingly late for the double team or too early, just missed times, doubles, and Jokic was picking them apart. We got to talk about the moment where they were coming back and they gave up an 8-0 run within 20 seconds. Just inexperience shown by the Timberwolves in key moments, and the Nuggets aren't going to beat themselves. We all know that. Defending champs aren't going to beat themselves. And the absolute thing that can't happen is your bench, one of the strong points of the team, cannot get outscored 27-13 by Christian Braun, Justin Holiday, and Reggie Jackson. 27-13. Nickeil Alexander, 1 for 7. Terrible. He played 24 minutes. He played 24 minutes, went 1 of 7, 0 for 4 from 3, and good looking attempts from 3. Naz Reid, obviously 5 of 6. That looks good. He had 11 points, but while he was on the floor, it just didn't feel like he was really affecting the game as he was the first 2 games, maybe defensively and just all around. To me, personally, that's what it felt like to me. And then obviously Kyle Anderson comes in for 6 minutes and has a plus minus of -18. Can't happen. Also, while Nickeil Alexander was on the floor, he was -20. Obviously, Ant had a great game. No one can stop him. We said that going into the series that no one's going to be able to guard Ant. And Karl Anthony Towns was going to have to be the X factor, and he absolutely was not today. He was nowhere to be found for the most part in this game. They had some possessions where they were trying to come back, and they just couldn't get over the hump. The Nuggets did a great job of responding to every time the Timberwolves looked like they were about to come over the hump. And we got a 3-game series. The Nuggets have home field advantage again, or home court advantage, I should say. I'm still going to get the Timberwolves. I don't believe that Aaron Gordon can keep up a 20-point average. I think next game we'll probably go back to 13. I feel like for the Timberwolves, you were closer in this game. I think it's more so their mentality. Obviously, the Nuggets are in a flow. We're going to have to see how Jamal Murray responds. As you know, I've said he's injured. He had an amazing game in Game 3. He had to respond to the critics of his Game 2 actions, and bravo for that. He's out of Alcatraz, boys. He's out of Alcatraz. He's no longer being hemmed up, locked up. Jamal Murray has shown up to the series. Jokic. Going into the series, we said that Jokic is going to do his thing. I feel like the more important part is to shut down everyone else around him. And the last 2 games, Jokic has gotten everyone else involved around him. So somehow I believe the Timberwolves need to go back to shutting down the others instead of Jokic. Jokic, he's going to get his. You're not going to stop the best player in the world. You need to shut down the other players because the other players are the ones that are taking over the game. I understand, they want to do the whole Lakers help side thing, but they gotta make a few minor adjustments. I don't think Aaron Gordon is gonna continue to hit outside jumpers like this the entire series. But as you see, when Aaron Gordon, and I just want to give credit to Aaron Gordon, the non-Jokic minutes where Aaron Gordon, they're running the offense through Aaron Gordon, have been amazing by Mike Malone. I have to give kudos to that because Aaron Gordon, he had 27, 7, and 6. That's an amazing game. I don't think he'll be able to continue that, but you are always susceptible to a Michael Porter Jr. finally showing up game or because he showed up in game 3, but everyone showed up. They all shot 53%. And then you also had what is it called? You're also susceptible to Jamal Murray, obviously tapping into playoff Murray. Great performance by the Nuggets bench. I'm gonna go with Timberwolves in 7 because I told y'all boys I'm not gonna re-jump ship. I'm not very confident in it anymore, but I was talking crazy. I was talking crazy. I was talking crazy. But yeah, Timberwolves in 7. I feel like they just need to get back into their the Nuggets shot 57% again. Have the Nuggets figured out the number 1 defense? And I think also that the thing that me and Femi talked about, that the Timberwolves can go into these offensive lulls, and now they're giving up 100 points. Usually you can survive that if you're only giving up 90 points, like 90 some odd points, or low hundreds. They're giving up a lot of points. They've scored over 100 and they scored 115, 107. They're averaging 116 on your home court. And they're supposed to be the number 1 defense. So they need to find their pride back. They need to make some adjustments and get back to that number 1 defense, because that's the only way they had to shine. That's why I felt number 1 defense. You have Anthony Edwards. They have no one to guard. It's going to be tough for the defending champs to win 4 out of the next 5 games. So the defending champs have won 2. They need to win 2 more of the next 3. And they're going in with a better feeling. I definitely thought the Timberwolves would steal a game at home. Not steal a game, but get a win at home and make this 3-1 going back to Denver. But now we're in a tied series. And I believe game 3 could be the more pivotal moment. Like just laying an egg on your home court. No injuries, no nothing. You're not like the New York Knicks or the Bucks last series, where you can afford a game like that because all your players are injured. No, you were fully healthy, and y'all laid an egg against the defending champs and let them back in the series. Y'all gave them an inch, and now they're taking them out. That's it for this recap of where we're at in this series. Nuggets fans, I want to apologize. Y'all go ahead. Y'all want to go crazy. The tens of people that watch these videos so far right now, I appreciate everyone. Let's get to 200 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm start going over more series. I just got a lot of work, work related stuff I'm trying to accomplish. But like, comment, subscribe. Peace.